Welcome to the show. Hi, I'm Randy Jeffers, and we are live from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, we have a really special guest today. We have with us Lejane Tellier.
Yes.
Did I say that exactly
you got
right?
It right.
Well, let's start there because that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
And sort of sounds like Hawaiian. Is that true?
It is Hawaiian. My grandma from Hawaii. She named me.
Okay.
Yes.
But what are you mostly made up of? What's your main ethnicity? From the Philippines.
Yes.
Okay.
I moved here when I was 16.
Yes. Okay. So you must have a Filipina name as well? Or,
no, I don't. No? That's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
So you are a resident of Las Vegas now.
Will be 6 years in June.
So you are in love with the desert and all this heat? And
yes, I love it here now. A couple years I kind of, try to get used to it.
Yeah.
But it's I like it here now.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're an MA.
Yes.
And that's a medical term for?
Medical assistant.
A medical assistant, okay. And you also have some licenses that go with that?
I am a licensed esthetician as well.
Okay.
But prior to that, I served 5 years in the Navy.
Wow.
Yes.
5 years in the Navy?
5 years in the Navy.
So
yes.
what did you do in the Navy?
I am aviation storekeeper for the Navy. Aviation storekeeper. So it's the aviation side, vice the
But what does a storekeeper mean?
It's a storekeeper. I work on the aircraft warehouse and do all the inventories, the ordering of aircraft parts that we serve deployed aircrafts on the ship.
I see. Yeah, because big aircraft carriers have a lot of ships on them, right?
So we are the contact on shore to support them.
You know, those ships are really big. I had a chance when actually I had a company that sponsored the Bon Voyage party of the USS Abraham Lincoln.
Oh.
And so we had this big giant party down in where the big cavernous place where the ships are, and they have big elevators that takes the planes down, right?
Yeah.
And we had Santana down there that did a big concert in there. It was phenomenal. I got to go tour the deck up there and even the admiral's quarters, and it was just phenomenal, like 6,000 people or something.
Oh yeah.
It's like a city, right?
Yeah, it's a little city, always called the little city.
So the planes that are on those ships, are they Navy planes or they belong to the Air Force?
They are Navy planes.
All of them are?
All of them are.
So the Navy has its own Air Force?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. And that's what you worked on that side of it?
Yes. Yes.
So very interesting. So
yeah,
did you go out to sea as well?
I never go out to sea because my husband is in the Navy as well. I met him in the service, and he stayed until 19, almost 20 years, and I stayed 5. So, yeah, I never get to sea because we always take turn. Usually for spouse, we take turn to go to sea, and he kind of take my turn.
Oh, he took your turn.
He took my turn, so I can stay with the kids.
So when you say the kids, tell us about your children.
My son will be 18 years old on Monday.
My goodness, you don't even look 18.
And my daughter is 14.
Wow. And what are their names?
My daughter is Alexa, and my son is Adrian.
Adrian.
Yes.
Oh, very nice. 2 A's.
2 A's, yes.
Well, very, very good.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit about them. What makes them really special?
Well, they're special because they're your
babies.
Children. They're my babies.
Of course.
Yes. Yes, and teenagers. They're kind of hard to. They don't listen sometimes, but
I have one at my house. Yes.
But yeah, they're very special. Good thing. They just stay home.
So they're good kids.
Like, good kids. Stay home, video games, TV with their cousins. Yeah.
They're just typical kids,
typical
right?
Kids. Yeah.
So you have family here.
My whole family is here. My mother's side of the family is here.
So that's why you came back to Las Vegas?
Yes, that's why. Because when I joined the Navy in '98, they moved here, and I joined the Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ever since they were here.
So they moved here from the Philippines?
From Las Vegas. From Hawaii.
Oh, from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone from Hawaii, because from the Philippines I came to Hawaii I lived there for like 6 months, and then moved to the Bay Area with my uncle who was in the Army.
Oh.
Yeah. And then that's where I joined the Navy.
Interesting. So you lived in Hawaii for how long?
Just 6 months.
Just 6
not
months.
Even, yeah.
On the big island. Oh, Oahu.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So but that was before you were in the Navy.
That's what before. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, very good. But you were born in the Philippines.
I am born in the Philippines.
And you were raised there, I guess, right?
I am raised there. I still speak the language. Everything. I still eat the food.
And that's why you are a medical assistant, because
Exactly.
I think that's a law, right? If you're
yeah, if you're not
if
a
you're
nurse
from the Philippines, you better be in the medical business.
Your parents going to disown you or something. Yeah, I'm kidding.
So you are a licensed esthetician.
Yes.
So for those of us that don't know what that means, what explain that to us?
An esthetician, we are skincare specialists.
Okay.
So we work, most esthetician work at a salon doing just the basic facial, and then there's esthetician that work at a medical office that do medical treatments, medical facial treatments, all those stuff that are really on the market right now. It's like more an upgrade to the basic aesthetics.
So things like getting rid of wrinkles?
Yes, anti-aging,
anti-aging,
chemical peels, microdermabrasion, all that good stuff. And fillers, Botox. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, huh?
A lot to it.
Yeah, I know. I understand that you're just now sort of getting into an area with stem cells.
Yes.
And that's kind of exciting, huh?
Very exciting. That's the new thing now.
Yeah.
And the new hype on aesthetics. Everyone wants to get in there, and I'm so lucky to just get into this company.
So what do you think stem cells will do for the whole aesthetics industry?
I think it's another breakthrough. I mean, we call this one, there's one very popular treatment right now. They call it the vampire facial.
Vampire face?
Yeah, which they take out a little bit of your blood, and we spin it, take out the platelets, and that's like we'll do like a minor scraping of your face, just the top layer of it, and then we will use the serum as to kind of rejuvenate and use it on the healing process of your skin, and you have a magical skin after.
Yeah, so you're making a tiny little wound, and then it heals back in a way that makes your skin very clear.
Yes, because it will heal perfectly because of the serum. We're using your own platelets.
Right.
Yeah. So the healing process, it's like
it's a PRP.
Beyond. Yeah, PRP. This is the PRP.
Platelet-rich plasma, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So lots of exciting things are happening in that field, and I think the next year or two are just. I mean, we're going to see some just amazing things, especially with stem cells, right? Because as I understand it, stem cells, like for balding, for instance, a lot of men have, they have male pattern baldness or just bald on top, and stem cells can grow the hair back.
Yes, right? Quickly, in like lesser time, because it's your own blood, it's your own platelets, so it's not, your body's not going to reject it. Yeah,
well, that's with the PRP, but if you're adding stem cells, it even takes it to another level, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah,
so really I would imagine you are just unbelievably excited about what's going to happen to you in this field.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Oh, very good. So let's go back to before the Navy. What were you doing?
Before the Navy, I joined the Navy when I was 19.
Oh, you were 19?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and met my husband there. He is what does he do? He works on the bridge. You went on the ship, so you know.
On the ship.
Yeah. He's like a air traffic controller on the ship. Yeah, that's what he does.
Up there where the planes are landing.
Yeah.
So he worked on a carrier.
In carrier, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you remember which one?
On the Nimitz. He was on the Nimitz, and then he went to a lot of little cruisers. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't name. There's a lot of them.
So now were you? What was your rank in the Navy?
My rank, it's E4, so
E4.
A second class.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's when it's 4 years, 5 years, so I got out after that.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So you must have been stationed in San Diego or someplace like that?
I was stationed in North Island, San Diego.
Yeah.
So that is the air station.
That's a tough place to be stationed, huh?
No, it was fun.
You get the sun every day,
Yeah.
and no shoveling snow, which is
Oh
beautiful.
no, very beautiful. But I went to for boot camp. I went to Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what was that like
3 months.
as a woman? What was that like to be in boot camp?
Oh, for me, it was. I mean, it's tough, of course. It's boot camp.
Yeah.
For me, it was. I mean, it was fun. It's an experience because I mean, I grew up in the Philippines. I mean, my family, we don't have a lot of money. I mean, this is like, okay, I gotta do something, or go to college, or do something. You know, this is like, you know, my stepping stone.
Sure.
So, I mean, I love it. I mean, the experience, like, you have friends you grow with, because after the basic training, you still work with them after, you know, you get stationed in the same place, or a couple years after you see them on a ship working there, and it's like it's like camaraderie. It's like you have a
special bond, right?
Yeah,
because
there's
you
a bond,
went through torture together.
Exactly. You went to torture together, you cried together. Yeah.
So now, when you did boot camp, are you doing it with men, or is it just for women?
It is both. It's co-ed, but it's separate. So girls are separated to the boys. They get their own training. They get punished differently with the girls.
So you have a little bit easier, maybe.
It's kind of like, they're kind of easier, but boot camp, I mean, you wake up at 4 in the morning and go to bed at like 10 o'clock. But then it's way easy. I mean, I think I went to flight attendant training, and I think boot camp was easier than my flight attendant training.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was flight attendant training?
Flight attendant training, well, of course, it's I did it with Lejane. And because they're here, the base is here, training is here, everything, so I don't have to go anywhere. So I tried it, but it was hard. I mean, kind of like the protocol, the airline protocol, all the safety training. What is this called? They teach you self-defense.
The flight attendants learn self-defense. Oh,
self-defense.
Wow.
They send us to one of the gym here, and there's trainers there. They teach you. You have they call it the bob, and you do the self-defense with bob. Yeah. Wow. It was fun.
Well, those unruly passengers, right?
Yeah,
Actually, you know, it's on the news a lot now. You hear people doing just unbelievably crazy things on planes.
It's crazy. I mean, but every flight attendants, they train almost every time something's going on. I mean, there's always, you know, okay, we're having an update. You have to read this. You have to sign this. Yeah. So they know everything. So it's safer to fly than to drive.
Yeah. The percentages are with flying. Right? Especially in Las Vegas.
Yes.
The craziest drivers in the world are right here in Las Vegas.
Definitely, yeah.
But what a wonderful place it is, right? So let's see. What can I ask you or let me ask you this. If you were me and you wanted to ask you just this amazing question, what would you ask you?
Oh my God. Since I'm new here in Vegas, how is Vegas? I mean, how long have you been here?
Okay.
I mean,
how long have you been here? Well, you already told us, right?
Yeah, 5 years.
Why did your family choose Vegas?
Because in Hawaii, it's hard to find job. I mean, and the cost of living. So they had friends before that moved here prior to them moving here. So they said, "Oh, move to Vegas." They work at hotels, customer service, so it's similar.
So they followed family.
Yeah. So.
There's a huge community from the Philippines here, right? I don't know how many do you think there are here? It's got to be a big number.
It's a lot. I mean, okay, my family lived here since '98, and I moved out from my family since '98, and I live in San Diego, Temecula. When I live in Temecula, when I got my house in Temecula in 2000, I think it's 2000, before 2000, think I'm the only Asian there. I wouldn't go out
really
without my husband. I was like, no, I'm frightened.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then I moved here in 2013.
And everyone's from the Philippines.
Everywhere you go, it's like, there's a lot of Filipino here.
I know.
Yeah.
Even especially when you go to the hospital or medical clinic or something, everybody's from the Philippines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it must be great medical training in the Philippines, huh?
Must be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't find a family without a nurse or a doctor in the family. Yeah. Somehow, someone is going to be in the medical field.
The 6 months that you were in Hawaii, how was that? Was that exciting?
Not really, because I was a teenager. So my mom wouldn't let me out. My sister wouldn't let me go anywhere.
You didn't get to go to the beach or anything?
go. I would go to the beach, but with my sister, or she wouldn't let me go out with my friends because teenager, and so I didn't really enjoy it.
Well, you know, it brings up an interesting point, because your mother obviously was a very conservative mother.
And culture.
And the culture lends itself to that, right?
Yeah.
And which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But it's so different from a lot of typical American families, right?
Yes,
where I mean, you see kids running wild and doing all kinds of crazy things, right? And how do you think that affected you versus if you had just been like a typical American kid?
I think I was like, when I moved here, I was 16 when I moved here, so I see the difference. There's like kind of culture shock. So I was like, I'm kind of shy. I'm scared to like hang out with them. Maybe that's why. And then I'm just focused to like, because when I moved here with my mom, moved us here with my brother, and then my sister was she's still in the Philippines, and then she just pursued college and everything. So kind of like, because I'm the youngest, so I kind of like, okay, I need to do something because my sister is doing this. So I think that.
So you're the baby in the family?
Yeah, I'm the baby.
Of how many children?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
2 sisters and 1 brother?
1 brother.
So you're the little princess that got spoiled and you got her way, right?
No. They just let me, have my way, I guess.
You know, there's an interesting book about the birth order. And I think it's Kevin Lehman wrote that book, but it talks about the personalities of people are determined by your order of birth. For instance,
that's interesting.
A lot of most of the presidents of the United States are either the firstborn or only children. Yeah. Comedians, for instance, are usually the baby in the family. You know, it's really it's a fascinating book.
Yeah, and the middle child is like
they're all the middle children are all screwed up, right? They don't know what to do.
Thing I know.
Which is most everybody.
Yeah, that's what my daughter. I mean, don't have a baby again. I don't want to be the middle child.
So what was it like being the baby?
I think I get my way all the time. They let me just do whatever. But
the big ones got punished and you didn't have to, right?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, they get blamed on something I do.
Oh my goodness!
Because you're not watching your sister, so they get the blame. So, but then it's kind of hard too, because like you see your sister, as a child, it's like you see your sister, like, oh, she's doing this, I got to be better than that. It's kind of like, the rivalry.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not like to where we're fighting or anything. It's just you set more standard of yourself, I guess, because your sister is doing this. She's going to be a dentist and she's going to be this. What am I going to do? I think that's what I was thinking when I moved here. So, like, okay, if I want to go to college, I need to do something. So that's why I joined.
So, in other words, you're a little bit competitive, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I think I just set standard for myself.
Yeah,
I think you have to. Everybody has to, or
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, if you could pick one particular moment in your life that stands out above all the others, just being like maybe the most special, what would you think it would be?
I would think. I mean, my life experience. I think I've learned a lot, so much from just being, life being. I mean, I wouldn't regret doing bad stuff I did when I was younger, but then you learn from it.
Right.
I mean, and you just live positively and learn from the mistake you did before.
So who do you admire most in life?
I admire most in life will be my parents.
Good choice.
Yes. I mean, although they've done, I mean, they're separated, but although they made, you know, they didn't end up to be together, you know. I mean,
they did or didn't?
They didn't.
Oh,
they're
they
separated.
Yeah.
My mom, I mean, she done a lot for me, for the family. And my dad, I mean, she would always like, when you were young, you thought it was just, why are you making me do this? Why, you know, you're blaming them. But now it's like, wow, I'm glad they
were
did
pretty
that.
wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a good choice to say. Hi, parents. By the way, you have a nice daughter, and she said the right thing, didn't she? So, besides family members, so who do you know? Maybe it could be somebody from history, or somebody that's current, or just somebody that has impacted your life in a positive way. Who do you think that would be?
In a positive way. Positive or negative? No, not really. I don't really look at it negative. I mean, my husband, I mean, he passed away, unfortunately, 6 years ago.
Wow.
Prior to retirement in the Navy, 30 months before retirement, he had a blood clot in his lungs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was sudden. We didn't know it's coming, that he had it. So he woke up, had it, and that's it.
It just passed right away.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it was. We were together forever in San Diego, because like my family's here. We don't have family in San Diego. It's just us. So
yeah,
we met. We starting a family. We were raising our kids. So I thought myself, okay, this is it. I mean, this is, you know, my life. I live here, and boom, that happened. It was life changing.
Oh, bad. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that. It's just that has to be. I mean, I guess if you have never experienced something like that, there's no way to.
There's no way you'd understand it. But like seeing couples and, you know, or my cousins or my sisters. I mean, you know, they're married, and seeing them sometimes you're fighting with your girlfriend. You're fighting. Don't do that. You know, it's like, come on, you have to work it out. You know, because for myself, I mean, I can't take back things and do it better. You know, he's gone, so.
Yeah, it makes you really appreciate.
Yeah, you makes you appreciate things,
you
little
have a
things.
person in your life that cares about you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. So, remembering back with him, what are some of your fondest memories of him? What was he like?
Since we live in California, like every day of the week that we have time off, we always go somewhere, either go to Palm Springs, go to LA, go to the beach, go to every corners of San Diego. We've seen it.
So you know it well, huh?
Yeah.
Did you hang glide off of the what's that, up at La Jolla there on the top of the?
No, we have not tried that yet.
You've seen that, right?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I love visiting that place.
Yeah.
You dive off the cliffs and
swirl it's
around.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's in Point Loma. So every time we go to San Diego, to just go there, up there, and the monument. Yeah, he's there, so we go there all the time.
So it's been 6-7 years since he's passed away, huh?
Yeah, 2011.
Yes, I'm sure it's something that will stay with you forever. But
definitely.
The kids okay? The kids adjusting?
The kids, yeah, they have adjusted. Yeah, it was way better to move them here than for us to stay there, because I was thinking when he passed, like, oh, maybe we'll just stay here in San Diego. This is where we started family. This is where we live. This is, want us to, But then everywhere you go, the memories. Yeah. So I talked to my kids, so what, are we going to stay here, or so we move here because the family's here. Yeah, it's better for all of us. Yeah. What are the
emotions you go through when something like that happens? It's got to be across the board. You go through everything.
It was hard, but I was lucky enough to have the military family, all the support from the military.
Yeah.
They were there from day one it happened, and they did not leave me, They tell me, they kind of guide me to the process. So it was hard. There's like days, of course, you're depressed. It's like a cycle. There are days that you don't want to get up your bed, but then you see your kids.
Yeah.
You have to keep going. So that's what kind of keep my heads up.
Yeah. Well, God bless you. You must have. got incredibly strong from that experience.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I'm sure when you find someone else that's been in that situation,
Oh yeah,
you feel you have that closeness, sort of a
I still
bond,
have communication with all my. They are the chaplain from the Navy. I still have communication. They still email me, call me. Sometimes when they visit here, because one is from Minnesota, so when there's the rodeo here, he comes here and, you know, with the kids, spend time with the kids. We, you know, go have dinner and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's amazing how much people are like, you know, stayed and
just stay in your life.
Yeah. It was a blessing, yeah.
That is a real blessing.
Yeah, and he is married to a Japanese woman, Asian too. So, yeah, and she skates. His daughter skates, and then kind of like, yeah, it was nice.
So let's talk about that for a second. What's it like being Asian in the United States? Do you feel
discriminated?
Now here in Las Vegas, I'm sure you just feel like you're a Las Vegan because there's so many different kinds of people here.
Yeah.
But you've been to a lot of other places. You were in the military, and probably Asians are a minority, right? There, not so many of them.
Not so many.
But do you ever feel like discrimination? Do you ever feel?
Of course, yeah. Of course, at first it's like, especially like I was teenager, and then teenager, you know, girls like my age, they grew up here and they're very confident. I mean, and I'm here, like, I'm new here. I mean, I don't really know the culture. Yeah, I mean, I'm shy. I get intimidated a lot. But then if I just stay that way, if I don't fight on, I mean, who's going to help me? You know, so it's kind of like you just have to be confident. You just have to keep studying, get all the training, ask questions.
Now, when you did that fight on like that, did you learn that with that self-defense? Is that how you?
Probably a little bit. But yeah. Yeah.
So when you learned that self-defense, are you pretty tough now?
But actually, when I was doing the self-defense, the instructor would always like correct me.
Oh.
Because you're doing it wrong. You're hurting yourself because like you have to punch it some way. They would teach you like different techniques to fight the mob. And they were always like calling me out because I'm not doing it correctly. So I mean, it was hard because I was like hurting that day we did it.
Wow.
I mean, boot camp, it's like they feed you like everything, and you train. It's balance.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it wasn't hard for me.
Well, let's go back to aesthetics and the field that you're licensed in and that you studied.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of study involved, right? What does it take to be an MA, first of all?
For MA, I think it's either the full fast track program. I think it's 6 months, and then if you just do part time, I think it's 9 months. But
okay.
but it did that years ago.
Now, is that after college, or does it matter?
After high school, you can do it.
After high school, you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you have diploma, and then for licensed esthetician, you can do it 900 hours here in Vegas. You have to complete the 900 hours. For me, I did it part-time. So I went to school for 11 months. Like 4 hours, Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 hours.
Now what made you want to get into that field?
Since I have a medical background, and I actually was looking for medical aesthetic school, but we don't have that here in Vegas yet. I think the nearest we have medical aesthetic is Utah, in California or Arizona. So the best aesthetic school that I found is Euphoria, which I went and graduated. So it's kind of give me the basic training for esthetician. They teach you skincare, the basic facial massage, everything, and then product ingredients, all that stuff.
So a facial massage, there's a special way to massage the face.
Facial way to massage the face and then the neck area. Yeah. There's like techniques.
And what do these techniques do for when you have a facial massage? Does it help with the wrinkles?
It helps with the wrinkles. There are different techniques that usually, if you want just a quick 30-minute facial, we usually just to kind of like freshen up the skin. But then there are like, I think now they have like deep massage facial where
wow.
we go on your the muscles of the face and kind of like it helps the skin to kind of like erase that wrinkle slowly.
By building up the muscles.
Yes,
and
yes.
making
Yeah, because I mean, we never massage. I mean, when is the last time you massage your face? Right?
Yeah, right.
So that's what you do.
Well, you know what's interesting here in Las Vegas is this is the home of the $20 massage, right?
Yes, it's the industry.
They call it foot reflexology. And literally for $20 you can have this incredible massage, and because it's not just the feet, but they will also do they'll do your face, and they do the scalp a little bit, and they'll do the arms and the legs and the feet. I always tell them no face. but
that's the number one thing
maybe
you need.
I should switch back, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, lunch facial, 30 minutes, just massage it, put all those creams and serum. Yeah, do that once a month.
Well, very good. So what's the future hold for you?
Oh God, keep learning. I want to keep learning. I want to be, right now, this is the field that I want, and really, you know, I'm really ecstatic about learning everything about it. It's growing. It's there, and we're in Vegas. It's the industry, so yeah.
Now I understand that you also have been involved in a laboratory and have some experience there. Tell us about that.
So after my medical assistant school, I work a little bit at urgent care to practice for my externship. And then right after that, I applied at LabCorp in San Diego. I worked there for 5 years. It's the main lab. So we have
the main one.
It's the main one. So we get specimen from Reno. I think we get Reno, Arizona, and sometimes we get a little bit from the East Coast and some Las Vegas area. Yeah, we do a lot. The lab. I work in cytology. So we do
in cytology.
Cytology.
Now, what is cytology?
Cytology, we do mostly the fluid specimens. We check for abnormalities, for precancer screening for the females, and urinalysis, all that stuff. I've received specimen, I process specimen, cerebral fluid extractions, all those aspirations, body aspirations, and we check it for precancer.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's departments at LabCorp. We have serology, histology, biopsy, all that stuff.
It's a huge company.
It's a huge company.
How many employees do they have?
Oh my Lord, I don't know. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Just there, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of doctors here in Las Vegas use LabCorp, right? But so they all send them to, everything to San Diego?
Yeah, it gets sent to San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have drivers that pick them up at night. They pick it up from the airport, and they sort it out. There's people that sort it out and give it out to different departments.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting.
We have hundreds and hundreds of specimens every day when I was working there. It was exhausting, but...
I'll bet, yeah. It never ends, right?
Yeah.
You finish a bunch of them, and then there's another truckload right behind it.
Exactly, yeah. You never get done.
So what did you learn from working in the lab?
A lot. It's interesting because there's a lot of doctors that they will teach you. They will show you how to, you go to like a different department, and the director that's there, I mean, you ask them questions, and you doctors you ask them one question and they're like yeah. So it's a learning, it's
that's because they charge by the second.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, you learn a lot of things, and I love learning. I mean, it's like you never stop. There's always something. You never finish reading something about anything.
So having all this medical knowledge from a number of different perspectives, what do you think about what should the average person do for their health? Are you a student of preventive medicine?
Preventative, holistic, approach. For me, I mean, it has to be an everyday thing. You have to be healthy. You have to be, just positive. Look, not just think positively, but you have to do it physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Right. You know, it's. I mean, you have to take care of yourself. You know, who else will? I mean, just the cost of buying all these vitamins and everything, going to the gym membership. I mean, that or being sick with something, illness that you have to go to a doctor and get all this. Yeah, it's preventative. You're right. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So lots of exciting things in store for you, I would think, in the medical field, huh?
Definitely.
So I understand you may be working in a lab.
Yes.
A new lab, and a stem cell lab, right?
Yes, it's a stem cell lab. It is the LVRMC, Las Vegas Regenerative Medical Clinic.
And you may be instrumental in finding a cure for something, or something that could really help people, right?
Yes, I'm really excited. Yeah.
Well, that's very good. Well, so let's talk about on a more personal nature. Growing up in the Philippines, what was that like?
Growing up, well, my dad, we're lucky enough to be like, my dad has his own business. So, and my mom, my dad is custom police, and he
say that again?
He is a custom police.
A customs.
Yeah, in customs.
Okay.
So we're kind of
like for the government.
He worked for the government. So, so it's. I mean, we kind of, it's. I think middle class family. So, yeah.
What city were you raised
Manila.
in? Oh, you're right in Manila.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I've been to Manila.
Oh wow! See.
Smoky Mountain, even.
Oh wow! I've never been there, but wow. What I mean.
It's really interesting,
Very interesting. I mean, Philippines is not. I mean, Manila. It's not. A beautiful place. It's
a big city.
It's a big city. It's very,
a lot of traffic, a lot of people.
A lot of people, pollution, all that stuff. It's not very nice. But then, I remember my dad would always, every time we go out, I mean, we can't go by ourselves. We have to be with someone.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're living right there in the city. Yeah. But the Philippines is so big, and there's so many islands.
Huge,
and
7,000 something islands.
Yeah, I know. And everybody can own their own island and their own beachfront property, right?
Yes, exactly.
Unless you live in Manila.
Unless you live in Manila.
Then you have to live in a high-rise.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, no, we were, when I went there last was on a human trafficking project. And Makati, there's a red light district there.
Yes.
I don't know if you know where that is. It's about 3 or 4 blocks long.
It's Makati, I think, is the business area.
It is, but there's a red light district there that is just unbelievable. A lot of European people that come there and take advantage of. I mean, you can actually buy kids for sexual purposes. Oh, no. It is so bad. This stuff that I didn't want to tell you. It'll make you cry, but. Makes you just want to take a machine gun and just go in there and blow it all up, But apparently 25% of the trafficked women in the world come out of the Philippines. But you have this new president that's cleaning up things, right?
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah. I've heard President Duterte. Yeah, I've heard he's very he's very strict.
It's a little controversial. A lot of people have, not everybody's for him. But he's getting rid of the drugs. And, I guess they don't like his means, but because he just kills them.
Yeah, I mean, he has to try it somehow.
He's getting rid of the drug people and the bad people. And, it's really interesting. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But you ever see yourself going back to the Philippines?
No.
No? It's so
the
beautiful,
last time,
though.
It is beautiful. My family and I were wants to go back, but not in Manila. We're going to probably check out the beach part.
Of course.
Yeah.
You got to get your own island.
Because we have the kids with us. So,
well, you have enough family members, you could just buy an island, right? And everybody can live on the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're Hawaiian, too, so you can have a luau in the middle.
Yeah, it would be great. But
so now your grandmother was Hawaiian.
My grandma, she's Filipino, but she moved, well, she grew up in the Philippines too, but she moved during that, the ship that from the Philippines that went to Hawaii. She's part of that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how our family get.
Was that back in the 50s or something?
Yeah,
or,
yeah. So that's that's what, yeah. And then my grandma, and then they petitioned my mom because my mom was married to my dad in the Philippines. She couldn't come here because she's married, like the stuff. So she has to wait until her papers get approved, and then we're already teenager. So yeah. That's where she moved late because she got married, but yeah.
Oh, very good.
All that process.
Have you been back to Hawaii?
I think it was 4 years ago. No, like 3 years ago. We went back with my kids. It's different. I still kind of remember some of the place, but it's way better because I enjoy it this time.
You were on vacation this time, and you didn't have your mother keeping you in the house.
No. Yeah.
But now you are the mother, right?
Exactly.
And so what do you do with your kids? You keep them in the house?
God. Keep them in the house as much as I can.
So basically you've become your mother.
Yes. The good part. I try just to keep the good part.
Well, I'm sure it was all good.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting.
Yeah.
And then they'll grow up and they'll become you, and it just keeps on going, right?
Yeah.
That's what's nice about ethnic groups, that they still have the old values, that a lot of Americans had that we're rapidly losing, right? They're just going away. And tight-knit ethnic communities still sort of keep those, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to watch that. So what else haven't you told us that we should know about?
I think I've told you everything.
Oh, I'm sure that's so. Now it's just you and me. Nobody's watching us. So any secrets in your life?
No.
Anything you've never told anybody?
No secrets. Open book. You can ask me anything.
Well, I see. I'd have to know what to ask you to ask you anything, right? If I was going to find a secret, I'd have to know what to ask. So your dad, is he still in the area?
My dad lives in Canada, in Manitoba.
Canada.
Yeah, with with his other family. Yeah, Manitoba.
So his family is from Canada, and your mom's family ended up here.
Yeah. They I think my I'm not mistaken, my half sister married. He's Filipino too, but his family's in Canada, so in Manitoba.
So do you go to Canada and visit?
I wanted to, but then I don't know. It's too cold. I don't know what.
It's pretty cold. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just stay either Vancouver or.
Well, in the summer it's pretty nice, right? Summer is gorgeous. It's just those crazy winters where you have to shovel snow and do all those things that people in Las Vegas don't know anything about.
Oh, definitely. We freak out when it rains.
Yeah, but at least you get to see green trees. And,
yeah.
There aren't too many green trees.
No.
Except for the palm trees, right?
Yeah, no, it's not even green.
So you like desert living?
It's okay, but I mean, whenever there's like the kids are off school, we always drive to San Diego.
Well, that's I mean, you were in paradise. I mean, San Diego was just, it's amazing. It just, the way the air feels. And
and it's green.
It's green. It's just, I mean, it's just an amazing place, right?
And it's easy. It's just.
So do you see yourself staying in Las Vegas, or do you see yourself someday going back to San Diego?
I see myself staying in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
Making some roots happen, huh?
Yes. But plus my kids wants to stay here, so they're always.
Well, it won't be long. They'll be married. They'll have kids, and you'll have grandbabies, and you're not going to go anywhere, right?
I'm not thinking that far yet.
It goes fast, just like,
it really
that.
Goes fast.
It's amazing how fast, right?
Yeah. Really.
So you have an 18-year-old. I mean, you don't look like it's possible that you could have an 18-year-old.
Thank you. I started early. I was 22 when I had him.
Well, that's not so early.
Yeah. 18. I can't believe it. It's like, wow. Yeah, he'll be in college next year.
He's going to go.
Yeah, he's going to go here in UNLV.
Oh, very good. Well, listen, we're just about out of time, but thank you so much. It's just great getting to know you, and thank you for sharing your life and especially some of the personal moments. and I'm sure that will bless somebody that's listening that may need that, that encouragement. So, Lejane, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right,
my pleasure.
And we'll see you next week, same time, same station. Bye-bye, everybody.